It's a shame many Australians knew about this. It's a shame that many of our own people knew about this. But in order for there to be unity as a people, not of colour, not of race, not of religion, but as a people, to come together as one, you would think that they would have been here to listen to the truth. We still got a big journey ahead of us because we got a battle, whether it be physical or spiritual, but we have a battle right now, and that's to unite as a people, regardless of colour. We just need the Australian people to recognise and understand that we are the original sovereign tribal people of this land. We don't want money. We don't care about money. We just want to be able to, with the recognition for Australians to stand with us, look after our country. It is our, how can I say it, our rightful inheritance. We have a responsibility as the custodians and the caretakers of this land, handed down from generation to generation to generation to generation. Should I go on? We've been here a long time. To look after the country, to look after everything for the next generation to come. Our children, their children, and so on and so on. But if you have a lot of greedy people that are standing there in power that are only for, like Uncle said, their eyes, you know, what they seen was wealth. We just want to look after our country. We don't care about the government's money, because the government's money is what has corrupted my people. That has caused division. Now we got tribal rivalry through this yes and no. We don't care about their elections. We don't care about their voting or whatever it may be. What we care about is our land and where this government is taking this country. We don't know the full story and we don't have the full details, and that's a concern to us. But all we know as the original tribal sovereign people of our country, we need to stand together for what we believe in, but we need to stand together for the next generations, for our country. I don't care about government. I don't serve government. I'm just going to let you know this straight out. If you don't know me, well, you do now, because I'll tell you what, I do not. They are not my masters. I do not serve them. I serve the Creator Spirit. I serve my ancestors. I serve Creator Mother and I serve Creator Father. They are not my masters. My elders in my community, they are my kings and my queen. They are my decision makers, are my elders. And when they tell us young mob, get out there and stand up, that's what we do. I listen to them. So don't expect me to listen to Halbo. I listen to my whole people. We have a job to do, and that's to look after country. You now all dwell upon our lands, and we have a responsibility as the first, well, the original sovereign tribal people of this country, to look after all the people who dwell upon our lands. Because we now share these lands with you, but as long as we have that garama, that we have that respect for each other, and that you recognize and you acknowledge that you are on tribal lands. And you know, that's all we ask, that they garama. Brothers and sisters, you want to come fishing? You want to use the land? Come. Because my people were always about caring and sharing. That's all we want the people to do, to come back together, to unify. Because I want to say this, and I've said it many times before. The greatest strategic planners to divide and conquer is government. They know how to strategize, they know how to work your mind, they know how to do. But they are the greatest strategic planners. They know how to divide a people. They know how to, race, colour, religion. It doesn't matter. They know how to divide. And they're doing it again. They are the greatest strategic planners for divide and conquer. And are we going to allow this to continue? Are we going to wake up? And we're going to say enough is enough? This referendum is another strategic plan. Because look what it's done. Not only did you have to deal with COVID, you got a first hit of what it was like to be, as you could see, we had to deal with all this for 235 years. Through COVID. Sorry, Uncle. He's got to go soon, sorry. So through COVID, you've got a taste of what it was like to be locked down, segregated. What it was like to be, how can I say it? Crimes against humanity. There was a lot of things that was only a little taste of what my people have been through for 235 years. But if we don't unite as a people and now, because what makes it really, what makes us as First Nations people, why we get frustrated is because, do you know why they continue to do what they do to the Australian people and to my people is because we're complicit, we're compliant, and silence is acceptance. And if we don't unite as a people, and if we as, I love that, as we the people, because if you say we the people, then we are all one. But if this country doesn't wake up, we're heading down a direction that we don't want to go, a path that we don't want to go down. My people have looked after this country for thousands of years. Do you think we want to go down this path with the government that thinks they are the superior rulers over our country and over our lands and over our people? I think it's time that you all set your differences aside, because I don't care about your religion, I don't care about your colour, I don't care about your race. All I know is that we all live in this country together, and we got a government to stand against immunity. We have to let this government know, because this is where the government's up there and we're down here. The people should be up there and the government should be fucking nowhere. Sorry about the language. But see, the reason why they're doing what they're doing is because we, the people, are allowing it. We're accepting it. We should be flooding the internet. Brother said to me, we should be flooding the internet. Even though the king, he's still there. But we should be flooding the internet with all written letters and just flooding it like no tomorrow to show them that we as a people and of this country, flood the internet with written letters. Just flood them, sign them, declarations, whatever they may be, but just flood the internet. Social media, just flood it, all letters to the king, to the government. All of those that think they're, well, can I say it in power? Yeah, they think. Yeah, well. But look, I after listening to, my elders speak and my brother and my nephew and all of that, I didn't want to talk too much today because I wanted them to talk. But I can tell you now, it's a no from me. I don't even want to vote because I don't want to be complicit to their system. So this is why we're not going to get into that debate right now. You know, but so we need to start flooding social media with letters to the king, to all those, to the government, and just flood it like no tomorrow. Every politician, flood it. Yeah, flood it. How are they going to deny that? Just flood it. Yahweh. Yahweh. Put them on show. We gave an open invitation. This was a public invitation to the Prime Minister, to the people. You would think Australia would care about their country.
Yeah, we can ask them why did you knock back the invitation?
Asking for a declaration of war, or a declaration of treaty with sovereignty, or a declaration of treaty with any of them.
I don't want a treaty with them. I want a treaty with my people. I'd prefer to travel. I prefer. This is what the treaties are about, because these are tribal law. These are lawfully, and as you know, we got our tribal law enforcement here, bloody Shillingsworth. We don't have to recreate the wheel when we got to even have it. We even got a liberation army. We don't need to be creating the wheel when our people are already on the journey of self-determination. These treaties here that we've got, you've got the Widjabul, you got the Nayambul, we got many treaties. There's a Widjabul now. We've got 4 nations, 4 tribes within the Bundjalung Nation that have treaty in, because they're binding between the tribes. So all the people that are dwelling upon our lands, not only our people, but all the non-originals dwelling upon our lands are protected under these treaties. So if we could actually establish, Uncle Michael, is there any way that we can actually establish once again, Auntie Glenda and all our elders, we need a national tribal council established once again to be self-determined. That our people can determine and run our own affairs without any interference from government. Put the government under your feet. Because the last time I looked, my elders were my government. And that's who I continue to stand under today, on the advice of my elders. Not this, can I say, fictitious, belligerent, unlawful, occupy. Don't start me. But anyways, I won't take up much of your time, but I do want to do one thing. If I can have, and if I hold up a treaty, can I have someone, any of you, read the treaty today? Any volunteers? Come on. So this is the Widjabul Treaty. As you can see, we got tribal nation. I'd love for my Uncle Michael and all the elders that are here, to sign. So if I can have someone read the treaty. Would you like to read the treaty, sister? And around with. And these treaties are binding. These are legal. This is under tribal law and tribal jurisdiction. So, sister, you want to go ahead?
So I apologise if I say it incorrectly or anything here. Not very good with my spelling. It says Widjabul, Tribal Nations Treaty with Love. We, the unsigned tribes, clans, families of our respective tribal nations, hereby acknowledge, recognise, respect and support the national sovereignty and territorial integrity of Widjabul, the rights of the Widjabul people to self-determination, the rights of the Widjabul people to protect, defend and conserve their country, their culture and lawful rights, agree to uphold diplomatic relations with Widjabul with respect and peace, that the rights of the people dwelling upon the Widjabul lands are protected under Widjabul tribal jurisdiction.
Amen to that.
Amen. Hey, thank you everyone for letting me speak and be able to have that opportunity. Thank you.
Thanks. What's your name, my sister? Sorry. That's the part we live in. Yellow.
So as you can see, everyone is protected under these treaties. And this is what we talk about when we talk about tribal law, when we talk about tribal jurisdiction. We don't need a government. We can actually self-determine. We can actually run our own affairs in our own communities. You don't need government. We just need to do what we need to do as the people. We don't need to be at war with them, but we can actually establish and create our own governments and our own, our tribal councils outside. And that's where we'll be no longer complicit and compliant to them. Them, they, what? But that's all I've got to share. I didn't want to take everything from everybody else. But I come here in love and I come here in peace, and we just wanted to share today what the treaties are about. And it's about standing in our own power as the original tribal sovereign people of this country. Because government has done nothing. They've never helped our people. They've never done anything good for our people, but they have done nothing but stolen our lands and continue to take today. They continue to commit genocide, cultural genocide against us. And now they're causing tribal rivalries between us as a people, as a tribal people. And enough is enough in this country. You would honestly think, and I'm still dumbfounded, that many who needed to hear the truth and if they wanted to know the truth and they wanted to know where us no mob, what we have to say about this voice, the Parliament, is that I don't support it. Because I respect what Uncle Michael's saying. I respect what my elders say. But until it's in writing about the truth of what this voice is really about, I don't trust anything they say, the government. They can say this and they can say that, and they can say that, our national sovereignty is not at threat, but I don't believe it, because everything they've said in the past up until now has been nothing but lies and trickery. So how can you trust them now to say, no, your national sovereignty is not under threat? I do not believe them. Tell me why I should believe them. Tell me why I should believe government. Because they lie. Everything. And did you know that everything that has been created against my people or disempowered my people, like everything from the 1967 referendum up until now, even through them referendums, when they held a referendum back in 1967, not only should they have told the people that they were going to, amend the Constitution, they asked my people to be citizens in their own country. On every level. So you tell me why. And they struck out clauses, took away our rights, they disempowered my people. So if you think that the 1967 referendum was a good thing, then you look at everything else up until then, even till now. Who's pushing all these things, so-called, that Labor is our saviour? Everything Labor has done nothing but disempowered my people and stolen more and more land. You think the Liberals are the baddies? Well, you better think again, because Labor ain't no different. They just swapped seats, pushed different. They pushed the same agenda. They only swapped seats. And just, Yahweh, 100%. That's what, look, no argument here. They only swap seats. They work for the same master, pulling the same strings. They just come at it in a different language. But they have the same agenda. You think that none of these no mob are not selected to be on this committee? Well, you better think again. Because they're all getting paid at the end of the day. The whole lot of them. The yes and the no. Liberal and Labor. So don't think none of them no mob are not on the list to be the... can I get... I'll dob them in. They got a new name. They're called the Elite Advisory Committee. Well, who died and made them more privileged than us? How dare they call themselves an Elite Advisory Committee as a grassroots name? Just because the colour of their skin does not mean they represent us. I don't care what colour you are. If you're not at a grassroots level and you're not speaking truth and speaking up for the people, then you don't represent the people. I don't trust none of them. I don't care. If I could pick them up and throw them all, I would. But I don't trust anybody. I don't trust, not politicians. I don't trust none of them. They've done nothing but lied, not only to the Australian people through this process, but to my people. I've no time of the day for politicians in this country. You all thought the Teals were good and the Teals were... Yahweh, you all thought the Teals were going to be saviours. Look who they work for. It was all them, disguised as the Teals. See, they come in all different directions, just a different name, but it's still them. But anyways, I don't trust any of them, and I never will. The only people I trust are my elders and my people. Not all. I can't say that, you know, like only certain people. But I do love my people and I do love all Australians. I actually care about my people so much is the reason why I'm standing here today. You know, I've gone out on a limb. I've been attacked every which way, you know, standing up against this. I've been censored. I've been threatened. Why? I'm just a little girl, just a little woman from bush. But I got a big mouth. But I'm not here to cause trouble. I just want the people to make sure that you know what's going on, you know, and that you know the truth and that the government is being truthful. Because I tell you what, I don't want to be in their constitution because I belong to this land. I don't belong to the British colony. I don't belong in a constitution. I belong to this land. This constitution has committed nothing but genocide against my people since colonial settlement. So why would we want to be in something that committed genocide? That's all I got to say. It's a no from me. Whether or not they're going to listen, I don't care, but I ain't finished. Because if they think they're going to just, if they're just going to push this yes through, regardless of what the people say, then they got another thing coming. Is it a threat? I don't know. You call it what you like. But I ain't going to stand while they do us all wrong. I'm not going to stand there and do nothing. Yahweh, you tell them. Yahweh. So we have a responsibility to do what's right in this country. A whole lot of us. But when you see a government that does not care about the people no more, that are out of touch, they don't care about you, they don't care about your family, and they don't care about your children. They serve a master, and trust me, it ain't creator. It ain't creator spirit. And I'll tell you now, I don't want a foreign. It's bad enough we're already, under the British or whatever, but I'm not up for I don't like being called Little America. Do you?
United Nations.
So Australia, my people, we need to wake up and we need to unite. See the strategies. Don't be ignorant to it. Recognize it. But all I got to say is that I love my country. And I hope you feel the same.